In this problem, part A asks us to find the coordinates of the circle's center. So we have 2 points on the circle that are given, and one is the point 1, 3. The other is the point 13, 15. So the center is the point halfway in between those. So what we need to do here is use the midpoint formula to find the center of the circle. All right, so our center then is going to be 1 plus 13 over 2, comma, 3 plus 15 over 2. So what I do to find the midpoint, you really don't need to memorize a formula, because what we're doing here to find the midpoint is we're just averaging the 2 endpoints for x and then the 2 endpoints for y. So, or the 2 x values and the 2 y values. So I'm just adding the x values together and dividing by 2, and then adding the y values together and dividing by 2. So when I simplify, I get the point 7, 9. And that is my midpoint. Now what you want to do is double check, especially if you've got a graph like you have here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I go up. Where's that point? And that's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that makes sense. There you go. That I did a really good job on that, didn't I? Hey, yay for me. All right, so that's the point 7, 9. All right, so we've got our midpoint, or our center, same thing. So now we need to find the radius. Now remember that the radius of a circle is the distance between the center and a point on the edge. So what I'm going to do, we know the center, we know a point on the edge. It doesn't really matter which one I use. So I can use the center 7, 9. I'm going to definitely use that. And I can use 13, 15, or I can go the other way and use 1, 3. And it really makes absolutely no difference because this is our midpoint. So when I get my difference of x's and difference of y's, it's going to be the same number regardless. So you can try it both ways and see how that works. Okay, so we've got the radius of the circle is what we're looking for, and the distance squared, which is the radius squared. So this is distance, not diameter. Right? So distance, we're using the distance formula, and this is giving us the square of the radius because we're going from the center to the edge. All right, so my center is at 7, 9. So the difference in the x values, I have 7 minus, and I'm going to use this point, 1, 3. So it's 7 minus 1 because 7 and 1 are both x values, and we square that, plus, and then I'll take the y value from the center minus the 3 y value on the edge and square that. Now notice that if you messed up and you wrote 3 minus 9, you put them in reverse order, it doesn't even matter because you're going to take that difference, which the only difference between 9 minus 3 and 3 minus 9 is that one is positive and one is negative. You're going to square it. Now it doesn't have any difference at all. So even if you mess that up, it still works out okay. So we have 7 minus 1, which is 6 squared, plus 9 minus 3, which is 6 squared. And that gives me 36 plus 36. And I'm going to be a little tricky here. I'm not going to add 36 and 36 to get 72. I'm going to say, what do I have? I have 36 times 2. I have 2 of those, right? Because I'm adding them together. And I wrote them in this particular order. I didn't want to say 2 36s, so 2 times 36, because now I need r, just plain r. So since this is r squared, I'm taking the square root of both sides. So square root of r squared is just r. Square root of 36 is 6. And the 2 stays in because it doesn't it's not a perfect square, is why. So our radius is 6 times the square root of 2. All right, so this is 6 square roots of 2. This is 6 square roots of 2. If we wanted the diameter, it would be 12 square roots of 2. Let's see, we have one part left, which is use the answers to write the standard form of the circle's equation. All right, so I can write the equation of my circle by taking x minus the x-coordinate of the center, which is 7, and squaring that difference, plus y minus the y-coordinate of the center, and squaring that difference, and saying that this is equal to the radius squared. So our radius is 6 square roots of 2. We're going to square that whole thing, which means squaring the 6 and then squaring the 2. So then we get x minus 7 squared plus y minus 9 squared equals, and 6 squared is 36, and square root of 2 squared is 2, so you multiply those and you get 72. And so that is my final answer for that problem.